Good afternoon, and welcome to CUC Softball Field for this afternoon's NAC softball matchup between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Eagles of Benedictine University. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network. This is Game 2 of this season doubleheader between the Cougars and Eagles. The doubleheader was initially supposed to take place this past Saturday, but due to inclement weather, it was split up. One game was played on Saturday, and then this is the finale of that doubleheader. Let's talk about that first game for a minute. Cougars won it 4-0. Ashley Schroll, the complete game shutout for CUC. Meanwhile, her opponent Loizon in the circle again today. So the exact same starting pitchers as when they met on Saturday. In the box score, RBIs for the Cougars came from Arissa Santos, a huge 2-for-2 day, including 2 home runs. And then Nikita Robbins also went 2-for-2, piled on an RBI for good measure. Today's game has a lot of playoff implications between these two teams. Concordia currently sitting 6th in the conference. The final playoff spot with a conference record of 9-8-1, 17-16-1 overall. Meanwhile, one spot below the Cougars looking into the playoffs is this Benedictine team, 9-12 within conference play, 21-16 overall. So whoever wins this game will come out with more wins in conference play. Cougars trying to complete the sweep. Eagles trying to at least go for the split in the season doubleheader. Now, a quick glance at the starter in the circle for Concordia, number 26, the sophomore Ashley Schroll. Got the start and complete game shutout, as I mentioned, when these two teams played on Saturday. 9-6 on the year, a 4.03 ERA, 14 games started, 27 total appearances, 109 and a third of an innings pitched. Vastly more than the next closest pitcher on the team, Jaden Harris, who only has a little over 43 innings pitched. So Schroll has been the workhorse for CUC this well. Picked them up 9 wins along the way as she gets set to face the first batter of the day from Benedictine. And it starts off with a strike to the left fielder, Taylor Scraba. Scraba has played and started in all 40 games this season for Benedictine. Has compiled a .348 average as that ball misses for ball 1. In that game from this past Saturday when these two teams faced off, Scraba 1 for 3 is that one high for ball 2. 1 for 3, also drew a walk, struck out once as well. As she starts off the day with a solid hit there right past Becky Peroni at short. And it'll be a leadoff single from Taylor Scraba. Already matching her hit total from that Saturday game. And now it'll be Jasmine Lozano, the second baseman for this game on the season. Lozano been the regular starter at second as this is a grounder to Bell. Archuleta scoops it up, fires to Arissa Santos for 1. The play at first not in time, but the Cougars cut down the lead runner as Lozano hits into a fielder's choice. Bella Archuleta scooped up the ground ball from Lozano, fired to second to get Scraba, and then Lozano in safely at first. Now I'll bring up the first baseman, Ashley Fisher, 1 for 3 on that Saturday game. A walk and a strikeout. His first pitch a little low for ball 1. Fisher, 40 games played, 40 starts this year, a .315 batting average. As that pitch misses for a strike. That throw to second is off of Becky Peroni's glove. So a stolen base for Jasmine Lozano. Count now 1-1 on Fisher. Jessica Gang behind the plate for the Cougars today. Battery mates with her fellow sophomore Ashley Schroll. As the 1-1 contact made, it is foul. So 1-2 on Fisher, the Benedictine first baseman. As Schroll fires this one, driven deep into center field. No doubter, 2-run homer, Ashley Fisher. That one might have made its way onto the baseball field where the Cougars are currently playing, but Benedictine strikes first here in the first inning. Ashley Fisher, a 2-run shot to deadaway center. Scores herself as well as Jasmine Lozano. And Benedictine has themselves a 2-run lead now with Colleen Schmidt up to bat. Schmidt makes contact on the first pitch. Becky Peroni makes the play to Haley Howard at first for the ground out. And now it'll be Taylor Openheis. So Openheis a 1-0. Make that 2-0 now. Openheis playing third base. A 3-0 count. The next pitch from Schroll in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now. That offering too high for ball 4. Openheis takes her base. And now it'll be number 19, Morgan Bruno for Benedictine. Bruno swings at the first pitch into center field. Haley Goldsby makes the grab to end the inning, but Benedictine strikes first off the 2-run blast from Ashley Fisher. They're going to take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the first. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Bottom of the first, Cougars up to bat for the first time today. And it'll be the shortstop, Becky Peroni. Lead things off here for the Cougars. Peroni on the year, having another fantastic season in her last as a Cougar. 449 batting average, 34 games played, all of which have been starts. Add in 25 RBIs as well as 5 home runs. The former All-American capping off her career with another all-NAC type season as this one misses. 2-0 the count now. Meanwhile, as Peroni gets a hold of that one, it's a deep drive into right field, but tracking it down and making the grab is Schmidt. So that'll be out number 1. It'll bring up number 4, Haley Goldsby, out in center today. But the starting pitcher for Benedictine today, number 22, Loizan. 5 1/3 of an innings pitched in her appearance Saturday. Gave up 10 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. As Goldsby lifts this one into center, and making the running grab is Lozano, the second baseman. And a quick 2 outs for the Cougars, and that'll bring up the designated player, Melissa Hadjick. Hadjick having herself a nice freshman campaign with the Cougars. As Loizan's pitch inside for ball 1. Hadjick, 31 games played, 25 of which have been starts coming in today, a .365 batting average. That pitch misses as well for ball 2. Loizan delivers ball 3 now on Melissa Hadjick. Alex Loizan, a graduate student out of Channahon, Illinois. Fires the 4th straight ball, so Melissa Hadjick takes her base at first. That'll bring up the third baseman, Bella Archuleta. Archuleta comes to the plate, takes strike 1 from Loizan, comes to the plate, sporting a .366 average in 34 games played, started in all of those but 2. And she now takes on Loizan for the first time today. The pitch misses. 1-1 the count now. So Loizan set, delivers. This one popped up, caught Archuleta right above the hands. Ashley Fisher moves over to make the grab, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first. Cougars get a base runner in Melissa Hadjick. Aren't able to do anything with it, though, and we are going to head to the second inning now. Benedictine still up on Concordia, 2-0. Benedictine back up to bat. And leading things off, it'll be the designated player, number 25, Lauren Olson, freshman out of Watertown, Wisconsin. Olson did not appear in the first game of this doubleheader on Saturday as she takes ball one from Schroll. Now that's a strike called there. Olson holding off on that one as well. So count evens out at 1-1 now. Takes a ball there. 2-1 now on the freshman designated player. Holds off that one as it's low and inside. 3-1 now. On the season, Olson, she fouls that one back. A .282 hitter on the season in 19 games as this one's popped up right to the glove of Becky Peroni. And that'll be out number one. And that brings up the catcher now, Becky Roncone. Roncone, that first game of the doubleheader, 0 for 2 with a walk as she takes strike one from Schroll. And on the season, she's batted .280 in 37 games played. As the 0-1 is fouled off for strike two. Nina Franklin on deck for Benedictine. The 0-2, they appeal down the line, no go. 1-2 the count now. As Schroll delivers, here's a line into right center. Nikita Robbins comes over, stops it, scoops it up. So a one-out single for Becky Roncone. And now I'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Nina Franklin. Franklin on the year, batting .247 in 37 games. In the first game, she went 1 for 3 against Schroll. That first pitch misses for ball one. The 1-0 to Franklin, grounds it to Santos, makes the play, and she throws it past Haley Howard. So heading to third is going to be Roncone. So Franklin reaches on the error by Arissa Santos, while Roncone advances to third on the same error. And now they're going to have a pitcher's meeting as there are runners on the corners, just one out. And it's the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Taylor Scraba, up to bat. Scraba hit a single to lead off the game and then was thrown out at second on a fielder's choice hit into by Jasmine Lozano. So now she'll get her second crack at Schroll of the day. First pitch to Scraba away for ball one. Scraba followed up by Lozano in the order, so Lozano should get a plate appearance here unless Scraba hits herself into a double play. That one misses as well. 2-0 the count now. The 2-0 turns into a 3-0. Stroll having some difficulties finding the zone right now. The 3-0 misses upstairs for ball four. So a 4-pitch walk to Scraba loads the bases. And we have another meeting in the circle, this time including head coach of the Cougars, Sarah O'Malley-Fisher. And a chance at a big hit here for Jasmine Lozano, hit into a fielder's choice in her first at-bat and then ended up stealing second. Now she has a chance to drive in a couple runs here with a solid hit. She goes to work against Schroll for the second time today. Schroll gets set. Big at-bat here. The first pitch. Missed in there for strike one. Infield playing in a little bit here, possibly hunting that double play. As the 0-1 in there for strike two. 2 straight strikes from Ashley Schroll now. She gets set the 0-2. This one hit into right field. Robbins gets under it, makes a grab, winds up, throws to home, and it gets past Jess Gang. Schroll's there to back her up, though. So sac fly scores 1 run. As coming home is Ron Cohn. Nina Franklin advances to third. Scraba to second. Off the Lozano sac fly. Benedictine up 3-0 now with the home run hitter Ashley Fisher at the plate. She looks at ball one. Her shot in the first cost the Cougars 2 runs. She makes contact with that one. Glove by Archuleta. Throws to Howard in time for the out. So the Cougars get out of it relatively unharmed. Bases loaded with just 1 out. Turns into 1 run for Benedictine. We're going to head to the bottom of the second now. Cougars trailing the Eagles 3-0. Bottom of the second, Cougars back up to bat, and it starts with Arissa Santos, the second baseman for the Cougars today. Santos had herself quite a day on Saturday when the Eagles and Cougars faced off, as she takes strike one there. 2 for 2, including 2 home runs. Had Loizon figured all out, and now she goes to work against her for the first time today. That pitch misses. Count now 1-1. Haley Howard on deck for the Cougars. As this one hit right back to Loizon, grabs it and throws the first in time for the first out of the inning. Nice play there by the graduate pitcher. And now it is Haley Howard, another senior in this Cougars lineup, having herself a nice send-off season on the year. 400 batting average and 34 games played. She started in all of those except for one. She's driven in 24 RBIs off of 4 home runs. She takes strike one there. Makes contact with that one. Open highs, fires it across the diamond in time. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second. And that brings up the backstop for the Cougars today, Jessica Gang. Gang on the year, a .325 hitter and 31 games played, as she looks at ball one go by. Last time Gang faced Loizon on Saturday, she went 2 for 3. Hoping for a similar day at the plate today, and a big playoff implication game as she looks at strike 2 there. Next pitch hit solidly to the shortstop, who makes the play for the out. That was Bruno over to Fisher, and that'll end the inning. Cougars go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. We're going to head to the third now. CUC 0, Eagles 3. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Third inning here in River Forest. Colleen Schmidt to lead things off for the Eagles. Her team up 3-0 on the Concordia Cougars, as first pitch equals a hit. This one going all the way back into center field for Haley Goldsby to grab. A one-pitch single for Colleen Schmidt. And now with A runner on, it's Taylor Openheis, who walked in her first at-bat. As Coach O'Malley Fisher having a chat with the home plate umpire. It'll be the end of Ashley Schroll's day already. So a major difference from Saturday. Schroll went 7 complete innings with a shutout, and now Benedictine chases her here in the third and makes room for Emma Borelli, the freshman, making her 14th appearance, a 1-5 record, a 13.29 ERA, and 21 2/3 of an innings pitched. So number 21 for the Cougars gets set for her debut today. She'll face Taylor Openheis and Morgan Bruno for sure. As she's finished with her warm-up throws, gets set for Openheis. Once again, she was walked in that first inning. And Openheis comes in 1 ball. So Borelli gets set. She makes her debut in this game. And first pitch is popped up. Nikita Robbins makes the running grab for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Borelli. And now that brings us to Morgan Bruno. Flew out to center in her first at-bat. That was the last out of inning number 1. As the first pitch from Borelli to Bruno, too low. Cougars pitching staff as a whole sporting a 5.29 ERA. That's ranked 10th in the conference, as that one is knocked down by Borelli. It is a fair, knocked down by Archuleta. It's a fair ball. And rolls to the Benny dugout. So reaching safely is Morgan Bruno. At second now is Schmidt, and with 2 runners on, it is Lauren Olson. Flew out to Becky Peroni in the leadoff spot last inning. Now she's facing Borelli. Gang throws down to first. It takes a bad bounce. Taking off for third is Schmidt. She's going to get in safely standing up. And now runners on the corners. Now a collision on the base path as Colleen Schmidt took off for second. Collision with Arissa Santos. Looks like she'll be staying there safely as she gets checked out by head coach Kate Heidkamp. So stolen base from Morgan Bruno. Colleen Schmidt reached third on the throwing error from Jess Gang. Trying to figure out how we are scoring that one. So with 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position now. As Emma Borelli gets set. A little trickier circumstance, and there's a solid hit into center field. Haley Goldsby makes a grab, throw to home, not in time. It'll be a 2 RBI double for Lauren Olson. And Benny now up 5-0. Becky Roncone at the plate now. Roncone, a single in her first at-bat. She makes contact with that one. It's into left field. Gina Westfall throws it to Archuleta, who's just going to pocket it. Coming home to score is Lauren Olson. An RBI single for Becky Roncone. So another couple Benedictine runners score. It's now 6-0 as Borelli fires a strike to Nina Franklin. Franklin reached on an error on Arissa Santos last inning. As that one bounced, Archuleta grabs it, throws the second in time. Cougars get the lead runner. Nice play there by Bella Archuleta. Roncone's cut down at second. Franklin reaches first on the fielder's choice, and now it'll be Taylor Scraba. Already her third at-bat of the game, a single and a walk. As she faces off against Borelli first time today. Takes a swing at one in the dirt. So 0-1 on the leadoff hitter of the day for Benedictine. Borelli checks the band, gets set, and delivers. Jess Gang's going to throw it down to second. In time! Nice play from Gang to Peroni to cut down the stealing Franklin. And that'll do it for the third inning. Benedictine, they tag on another trio of runs. We're going to head to the bottom of the third now. Benedictine 6, Cougars nothing. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars need some offense as they trail Benedictine 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. And it's the left fielder to bat, Gina Westfall. Westfall on the season has played 33 games, a .284 batting average. Has powered one home run out of the park. She now gets set to face Loizon as she lines that one into right center. It gets past Franklin, who has to retreat for it. Westfall speeds her way into second base. A stand-up leadoff double for Gina Westfall. Probably the hardest hit ball off Loizon today. The only one that's been a hit so far as well. And that puts a runner in scoring position with no outs for Nikita Robbins, the right fielder for Concordia. The senior, a .380 batting average as she swings at the first pitch, single up the middle. And Westfall, she's going to turn on the brakes, head back to third. So Nikita gets herself a single. Westfall advances to third, and it'll be to the top of the lineup with Becky Peroni, who flew out to right in her first at-bat. Has a chance to do something here with Westfall at third. The first pitch from Loizon, that one's hit. Scooping it up is Bruno. The play at the plate in time. No, they give her the run. Excuse me. As Kate Heidecamp's going to have a discussion with the home plate umpire now. It looked like it was an out sign at first. What he was actually calling was obstruction on the catcher Roncone. So Gina Westfall scores the first run of the day off the Becky Peroni fielder's choice. So Peroni hits into the fielder's choice, which drives Westfall home. And Nikita Robbins now on second for Haley Goldsby. There's now some extracurriculars between Roncone and Robbins. Roncone saying something after threatening to chase down Robbins. Roncone called for the obstruction on the Westfall run. That pitch is high. 2-1 now. Six to 1 after the Westfall run. Robbins on second, Peroni on first. Loizon gets set to deal to Goldsby. The 2-1. This one popped up, drifting almost foul. It stays fair. And now Robbins tags up into third. Safe. Nice tag up there by Nikita Robbins to get to third. And with one out, it'll be Melissa Hodgick. Hodgick walked in her first at-bat. Now his runners on the corners would just run one out, trying to get the Cougars back in this game. They were down 6-0 at one point. That pitch in there for a strike. The 0-1 now from Loizon as she gets the signs from Roncone. She delivers. Melissa Hodgick gets a piece of it. So 0-2 count now on the CUC freshman as she takes a time to pick something up off the ground. She steps back into the box now. Loizon gets set, trying to get her first strike out of the day. Instead, Hodgick pops it up, going foul. Oh, and 2 still on Hodgick, staying alive after the foul ball. Now that one hit solidly into center. Franklin makes the grab. Robbins tags up. No play at the plate. And the Cougars tag another one on off the sac fly from Melissa Hodgick. Becky Peroni still standing at first, and it'll be Bella Archuleta who's going to try and move Peroni. She needs to reach safely with 2 outs up on the board. As this one is driven into left field, gone! Bella Archuleta, 2-run homer, and the Cougars pull within 2. That one got out in a hurry. Things look a lot better for the Cougars than they did half an inning ago. Cougars were down 6-0 and have put up a 4 spot already in the bottom of the 3rd. And they aren't. Some technical difficulties here on the Cougar Sports Network. We apologize for that break. We're back here, still top of the 4th. 2 runners on now for Benedictine, first and second, with Ashley Fisher up to bat. She looks at ball 1. Fisher, that 2-run homer in the first that kicked off the scoring. As she makes contact with that one, Peroni scoops it up, fires it, bounces off the glove of Howard. Don't know if she would have been in time anyways. So it'll be an error on Becky Peroni, and now it'll be Colleen Schmidt to bat. Bases loaded, nobody out. 6-4 Benedictine here in the 4th. The pitch. That one upstairs, ball 1. Burley gets set, delivers the 1-0 to Schmidt, who lifts it into left center. It gets down, that's a hit, and it'll move everybody over 1. RBI single for Colleen Schmidt. Fisher to second. Lozano to third, and then coming across home is Scabra. And it looks like we might have another pitching change here on the Cougars as Coach O'Malley Fisher converses with the home plate umpire. it'll be Jaden Harris coming out for the Cougars, the junior transfer. Checking into the game. Again, Harris, a junior, transferred to CUC this year out of Jurupa Valley, California. On the year, has made 15 appearances and 8.72 ERA, 43 and 1/3 of an inning pitched. She throws a couple warm-up tosses, puts the mask on, and gets ready to go to work here. Bases loaded, still nobody out. Taylor Oppenheis at the plate. First pitch of the day for Harris is inside for ball one. Harris's last appearance, as this one is driven into right. Robbins under it, throws to Howard. And so a sac fly off the bat of Oppenheis. Scores Lozano. Over to third is Fisher. And while Schmidt stays put at first. Harris last made an appearance against Rockford University on May 2nd. Six innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned, 2 walks and a strikeout. So good outing from the junior yesterday. Cougars split that series up in Rockford. Right back at it today, and this one into left field. Westfall makes a grab. She throws to Gang at home. Not in time. Now Gang throws to second. That's not in time either. So that puts the score at 9-4 now. And Archuleta steps on third for another out. Actually, not sure what was Archuleta doing there. Just took the ball, stepped on third. Still 2 outs now. So sac fly from Morgan Bruno drives in another run as this pitch too. Olsen gets her swinging and missing. That was Ashley Fisher who scored. Meanwhile, Colleen Schmidt advanced to second. Fisher's run is unearned. And Gang thinks about throwing to second, instead just holds on to it. 1-2 now on Lauren Olsen. 9-4 here in River Forest. Harris gets set, delivers. That one upstairs and away. Great reach there by Gang to reel it in. The 2-2 in the dirt. And they're going to say it hit Olsen before It was dead. So Olsen's hit by the pitch, and that brings up Becky Roncone. She's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, a run, and an RBI. As that pitch misses inside for ball 1. The 1-0. It's upstairs. Gang checks down the line. No good. That one low and inside. 3-0 now on Roncone. Cougars already have used 3 of their 4 pitchers on the year, with only Callie Tierney not yet making an appearance today. There's the 3-0 inside for ball 4. That loads the bases. With the bags loaded and 2 outs. It'll be Nina Franklin. She reached on an error and a fielder's choice so far today. As she looks at strike 1 fly by her there. One and 0 the count now. Harris fires. That one misses for ball 1. The 2-0 hit into center field, backing up and making the grab is Haley Goldsby. Tough play there from the center fielder, but she makes it happen. But Benedictine, they add on another 3 runs, jack their lead back up to 5. It's 9-4. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars have some work to do offensively. Last time they put up 4 to pull within 2, but after a 3 spot from Benedictine in the top of the inning, Concordia back down by 5. So they need some more offensive firepower, and it starts with Haley Howard. She grounded out to third, her first at bat, as Alex Loizon back to work. 1-0 after that ball. Loizon, a part of a Benedictine pitching staff who ranks 4th in the conference in total ERA with 2.86, as Howard fouls this one back. Makes its way onto Division Street. 1-1 now on the senior first baseman. Make that 2-1. Loizon gets set for the 2-1. And Howard rips that one foul above the Benedictine dugout. Two and two, the count now. Loizon looks for her first strikeout of the day. She won't get it yet as it's a full count now. Now the 3-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Loizon gets her first strikeout of the day, punching out Howard swinging. And that'll bring up Jessica Gang now. Gang ropes one into right center. She's going to hold at first, though, so a one-out single for Jessica Gang.
Now to bat the left fielder, number 9, Gino Westfall.
Westfall, this one's going to go foul into the left field corner. Well hit ball, just didn't hang fair. Westfall hit a leadoff double in the third. Eventually would come home, score the first run of the day for the Cougars. As that's going to be foul as well. Just barely, though. As Westfall getting some good contact with the ball. Just isn't able to keep anything to the right of the left field line. And now the 0-2 misses, ball one. Now the 1-2 in the dirt, gets behind Ron Cohn, so Gang will stroll into second. That would be a passed ball on Ron Cohn. So now in scoring position is Jess Gang for Gina Westfall, who has a 2-2 count on against Loizon, And now the pitch. This one goes foul as well. Third base coach for the Cougars, Dave Galicko, have to plot some acrobatics to avoid that one. So now 2-2. Loizon pitches, and this one popped up drifting foul and falling over trying to make a play with Scabra. Two and two. Westfall pokes this one foul. We're at 7 pitches in this at-bat. Thanks to our stat department for that one. And now the 2-2 again. This one's going to stay fair, but it's gloved by Schmidt for out number 2. Good fight by Gina Westfall. Just didn't end in the result she wanted. And with 2 outs, runner at second, it's now Nikita Robbins. She hit a single in her first at bat, would eventually score a run. And now this one lined right back at the legs of Loizon. It's into center. Gang's going to round third, come home to score. And an RBI single, Nikita Robbins. As she pulls the Cougs within 4 of Benedictine.
Number 14, Becky Peroni.
And that leaves a spot for Becky Peroni to do something this inning. Still 2 outs. Robbins on first now. That pitch is away for ball 1. One and 0 on Peroni. The pitch in there for strike 1. Now the 1-1 swing and a miss there from Peroni. Loizon has a chance at her second strikeout of the day and the inning here. As the 1-2 misses, Robbins takes off for second, not in time. Stolen base there for Nikita Robbins. And now Peroni a 2-2 count with a runner in scoring position. Peroni hit into a fielder's choice for an RBI last at bat and then flew out in the first. Now the 2-2 makes contact with it. Bouncer to open highs, fires it across the diamond for the out. And that'll do it for the 4th. But the Cougars get 1 back off the RBI single from Nikita Robbins. We're going to head to the 5th inning now. Cougars 5, Eagles 9. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Benedictine back up to bat, trying to add to their 4-run lead here in River Forest. Big game with playoff implications on the line. Benedictine sits just a seed behind Concordia in the NAC standings. Concordia in the final playoff spot. They are tied with 9 wins as this is a hit into deep left field. It's into the corner, so a stand-up double for Taylor Scraba. That'll bring up Jasmine Lozano. Lozano, fielder's choice, a sac fly and a single, has scored a run as well as gotten herself an RBI. And then she goes to work on Jaden Harris. Harris delivers, that's upstairs. So the 1-0 from Harris. Lozano steps out of the way of that one as she looks down the third baseline to get instruction from Coach Heidkamp. As this one has popped up, it's going to go foul. So that one ends up on Division Street. Dings a couple cars driving by. As the 2-1 turns into a 3-1 now. And now the 3-1. Lozano holds off for ball 4. She'll take her base. Runners first and second, nobody out. Now for Ashley Fisher. Fisher, a 2-run, a home run in the first, a ground out, and then reached on an error from Becky Peroni. Scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs so far, as now this first pitch is drilled into left field. 2-home run day for Ashley Fisher. Fisher powers one over the left field wall. Brings home 3. And now Benedictine up 12-5 here in the 5th. Lozano scores, Scraba scores, and Fisher scores herself. And now with nobody out, 3 runs up in the inning, it's Colleen Schmidt. 2 for 3, a ground out, 2 singles, as well as a run scored and an RBI. Now the first pitch from Harris, down low, ball 1. One-0. That one dribbles foul, 1-1. And now that one gets a piece of Schmidt's bat. So you see softball, not the only team in action in River Forest. It's the baseball team just one field over, trailing Rockford 2-0 as that ball is fouled off. Baseball lost the first game of that Rockford doubleheader 12-11, now trail the Regents 2-0 in the top of the 6th. Now the 1-2, and that's a foul ball. Schmidt takes herself out on that swing. So now the 1-2, bouncer Archuleta over to Howard for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Taylor Openheis. Walk, fly out, and a sac fly for an RBI today. Openheis still looking for her first hit. See if she can get it against Jaden Harris here. As that one hit foul. Now the 0-1 finds its way in there. Nice pitch there from Harris. 0-2. Now the 0-2. It's a dribbler, goes foul.
You're counted.
0-2. Pitchers count for Jaden Harris as she takes on Openheis, trying to get the second out of the inning. The pitch upstairs, 1-2 now. Morgan Bruno on deck, guaranteed to hit. Lauren Olson in the hole. Now the 1-2 fouled right into the Benedictine dugout. And the 1-2 upstairs, 2-2 now. It was an 0-2 count. Openheis has worked herself into the 2-2 now. As Harris delivers, and that one inside. Full count now. 3-2 on Openheis. As she fouls it off, still alive. So still full count. The 3-2 from Harris. Fouled off again. Good fight here from Openheis. So Harris deals the 3-2 again. This one driven deep into left field. No doubter. What an at-bat from Taylor Openheis. Multiple foul-offs to stay alive. And then she ends it with a solo shot into left. Absolute no doubter. Goldsby and Westfall didn't even try to make a chase. And that adds to the Benedictine lead. Now it'll be another pitching change for the Cougars. Kelly Tierney will check in. So we'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network while Tierney warms up. We'll be back in just a minute. Benedictine up on Concordia 13-5. So new CUC pitcher in the circle. It's sophomore Callie Tierney, making appearance number 20 on the year. 8.78 ERA, 3-3 record coming into today. She gets set to work on Morgan Bruno. That one in there for strike 1-1 now. Still just one out in the inning. Bruno followed up by Olsen. These two will bat for sure. And then after that, we'll have to see what they do as Bruno pulls that one foul. 1-2 now. Ball thrown back into the field of play. Gang gives it to the home plate umpire. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2 now. And this one stays fair. Archuleta the throw to first. Falling forward to keep it in front of her was Howard. So it'll be an error on Archuleta. And up to bat now is Lauren Olsen. A fly out, a single, and was hit by a pitch in that order so far today, as Bruno thinks about taking off for second. Instead, she'll just hold. Now the 1-0. Bruno, again, a big jump, instead heads back. Makes it 2-0 on Olsen. The 2-0. That one inside 3-0. Now 3-0 in there for strike one. So now the 3-1 in there for ball four, inside for ball four should specify. Now that pushes Bruno to second. And Becky Roncone up at the plate now. The catcher, 2 singles as well as a walk so far today. Driven in a run, has scored a run herself. That one's up. Gang fires to first. Now the 1-0 from Tierney shows bunt, lays it down. Tierney scoops it up, throws to first, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Pushes Bruno to third, Lauren Olsen to second. And after the sack bunt from Becky Roncone, it'll bring up Nina Franklin, 0 for 3, reached on an error on Arissa Santos and a fielder's choice, and then flew out to center in her other at-bat. She gets set to face Callie Tierney for the first time today. That first pitch misses for ball one. Tierney, the 1-0 in there for strike one. Now the 1-1 misses. It's actually in there, excuse me, strike two. Now the 1-2. Up and inside, 2-2 now. The 2-2. And that's a hard hit grounder into right field. It'll score one, and it'll score two. 2 RBI single, Nina Franklin. Bruno scores. Olsen scores, and now we're back to the top of the lineup with Taylor Scraba. Already has one hit, led off this inning way back when with a double. She looks at ball one. And that's a hit into left field. The hit parade continues. Scraba's second hit of the inning. So, runner at first and second. 1-0. Now meeting between Gang and Tierney. One and 0 count on Lozano. She walked earlier in this inning, would eventually score a run. The 1-0 hit past the glove of Tierney. And that throw home, nowhere near in time or in line. An RBI single for Lozano. Dave Golicko comes out to chat with the pitcher and the rest of the infield. Now the huddle breaks up. Tierney remains in the circle for now. Fisher, 2 home run days so far. She looks at ball one. Now the 1-0. This one popped up. That's a deep drive. How about that 3-home-run day? Ashley Fisher, 2 home runs in this very inning. A 3-run shot. And it is now 19-5. Now that one goes foul. The 0-1 in there for a strike. 0-2 now. Now the 0-2 popped up. Howard Goldsby gets under it, makes the grab for the final out, but a 10 spot from Benedictine brings the score to 19-5. Cougars have some work to do if they want to avoid getting run ruled. Find out, and they do it when we come back to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars need to pull within 8 if they want to keep this game alive, which means they need to get to 12 runs. So a 7 spot needed here in the bottom of the fifth. And it all starts with Haley Goldsby. 0 for 2 today with 2 fly outs. The first pitch misses for ball 1. Now the 1-0. This one driven into center, and getting under it is Franklin for the snag. 1 out, 2 to go for Benedictine to come back, split this doubleheader that was originally started this past Saturday. Cougars took care of business in that one, winning 4-0. This one has been all Benedictine, however, 19-5. As Melissa Hodgick up to bat now. Drew a walk in the first and hit a sac fly for an RBI in the third as she looks at strike 1 go by her. Now the 0-1 from Loizon, fouled off. 0-2. Score update from a field over. CUC baseball trailing Rockford 7-0, top of the 6th. On the bottom of the fifth here, the 0-2 misses. Two one fouled back. So Melissa Hodgick fights that one off, keeps the count at 1-2. Now the 1-2, this one grounded to open highs over to first in time for the out. And the Cougars, down to their last out, need a pretty remarkable 2-out rally here. They need to put up 7 runs with 1 out to play with. And it starts with Bella Archuleta hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning as she looks at ball 1. Arissa Santos on deck. As the 1-0 turns into a 2-0. That one in there for a strike. 2-1 the count now. And here's a grounder to short, over to first in time for the out. And that will do it from here in River Forest. Benedictine comes in to play the second half of Saturday's doubleheader, and they take care of business. A run rule 19-5 victory in just 5 innings. And they pick up an all-important win in the conference standings. They should move ahead of the Cougars now. Benedictine will be 10-12, while CUC sits at 9-1 in the conference rankings. So Benedictine swaps with CUC for that final playoff spot. Plenty of softball left to be played, though, for the Cougars. They'll be back in action this Friday. A doubleheader versus Marion. That's at 3 and 5 p.m. And then Saturday, Dominican here in River Forest for Senior Day. That is a 12 and 2 p.m. start time. Look at some of the stats. First for the Cougars, Ashley Schrolt given the loss. That puts her record now at 9-7. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned, and a pair of walks. In terms of batters, Bella Archuleta led the way with her 2-run homer that got her 2 RBIs. Melissa Hodgick had herself an RBI. Becky Peroni an RBI. And Nikita Robbins went 2 for 2 for an RBI as well. Meanwhile, for Benedictine, RBIs all around. The star of the game, though, Ashley Fisher, 3 for 5, 8 RBIs, 3 home runs, 2 of which came in the top of the 5th. Fisher having herself a career day here in River Forest. Lozano, Openheis, Olson, and Franklin all got a pair of RBIs. Roncone, Bruno, and Schmidt each had 1. Loizon goes the distance, a 5-inning complete game, 5 hits allowed, 5 runs allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And then she improves to 12-8 on the year. So that'll do it from the CUC softball field. I want to say thanks to everyone making this production possible. Emily Balaban and Janie Turnes working in production. We're under the direction of Sydney Plaskas-Slaher, Kayla McLeod, our sports information director. But that'll do it for this Cougar Sports Network presentation. Eagles take down the Cougars 19-5 here in River Forest. This is Peter Borkowski wanting to say thanks for watching, and as always, go Cougars.